Hey, what's going on out there? NFL fans, Atlanta Falcons fans. It's your boy Antoine Smitty Smith, Smitty Sports Machine, 1/3 of the 95 North Sports Machine. And I got my boy Uncle Steve rolling with me today, man. And I'm telling y'all, it just popped in my head the other day. I was doing a show, and Uncle Steve said, "You got something coming up special, don't you?" And it just clicked in my head when he said that. Because Uncle Steve been telling me for I know 2-3 years, William Andrews was his favorite player coming up. So I said, man, why not? He get to interview one of his superstar players. And look, I tell y'all all the time, I try to make dreams happen, man. I did it with a couple of guys already, with Jesse Tucker, Terrence Mathis, and Chuck Smith. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna get this from Uncle Steve. I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna host the show, but I'm gonna let him do most of the question asking because he's been a fan longer than I have. But before we get into that, Uncle Steve, man, let's get into the dopest intro.
Yes, sir.
Sports, man, because me and Berto be putting in that work.
Yes, he does.
All right. We back, man. Before we get started, hey, Berto, I couldn't find my suit, man. I think I got to get it dry cleaned, so I couldn't put it on. But I do rep the Falcons all the time because y'all know how I do it. But before we get started, man, Uncle Steve, man, give everybody a shout out before we bring in Mr. Andrews.
What's going on, everybody? This is your Uncle Steve from Uncle Steve's Lounge on YouTube. I appreciate everyone joining us on our platform as well. Thank you, Smitty, for the opportunity for this interview with I have been very public to say this is my all-time favorite Atlanta Falcon, and it is going to be an honor and a pleasure for us to talk with him tonight. And Smitty, I'm ready when you are, brother.
Hey, no doubt. We finna get into it, but give a shout out to the chat right quick, man. Titus said you've been talking about Mr. Andrews since forever, and I agree. Mr. Dwayne Ruffin, our boy Big John Higgins, who's also been a Falcon fan for a long time. He remembers Mr. Andrews as well. Robert Ponder, what's up? Dwayne Ruffin, we call him Deep Ruffin. Tony Wright, 330, RGATL for Life, the plug, the part of the Four Horsemen. And Deep Ruffin said he loved this, man. Major. But I got to give a shout out right quick, man, to Mr. James Edwards and Mr. Lenny Taylor, man. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have got this interview. So shout out to them. Got to show them some love early on in this episode. But it's time, man. Time y'all been waiting for, man. We finna get into it right now. With Mr. William Andrews, man. I had the pleasure of speaking with him for a couple of weeks now. And now he's Uncle William. So, Uncle William, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How about you guys?
Oh, man. We
doing all right.
Yeah, well, if you don't mind, let me also give a shout out to Lenny Taylor, too, because that's my buddy. We sing in the choir together at Hopewell Baptist. So
okay,
yeah.
So he called me and say, "Hey, brother, I need a favor." I said, "What you need, Lenny?" He said, "Man, I got a buddy that they call him Uncle Steve. He wants to get a chance to sit down with you and talk some football." I said, "Oh man, I said, Lenny, you ain't got to ask, man. I'll do it for you. I ain't got no problem with that."
Well, William, I do sing a little bit now. If y'all got room for a tenor now, I can come in there and do some things.
Well,
now.
You be right next to me because that's what I am, a tenor.
Right on time.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah. Take it away, Uncle Steve. We're going to let you start it off.
All right. William, first again, it's a pleasure for you joining us here today. I just want to start a little bit from the beginning, man. Georgia, born and raised here, Thomasville, Georgia. Talk to me a little bit about when you knew the football gene was kicking in, when you knew that this was what you were going to be. This was going to be destined for you.
I don't know if y'all ready for this, right?
We ready.
My oldest brother, right? Thomas Andrews, right?
Okay.
This joker, man, I used to we work all day at school, and then practice all afternoon, then come home. But on the weekends, I had to go to the field. And I mean, I had to work on the farm, man, with my oldest brother, right? And I said, bro, what you doing, man? He said, come on, boy, we got to go. We got to go get it. So I'm out there, and then we driving a little truck with the 3 on the collar, and we getting on down Metcalf Highway down to Metcalf, Georgia, because that's where our family's home were, right?
Oh.
So come to find out, man, I gets there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, he got more stuff to do than I can ever even imagine, man. So for a whole football season, he had me in the field every weekend.
Wow.
I didn't have time to go out to see no girls. I didn't have to go out time to go see nothing. I was locked down because I was so tired when I got home. It wasn't nothing for me to do but go to sleep. And then mama, on Sunday morning, we got to go to church. Let's go. So, what am I supposed to do? Say no? I don't think so. So, but if I had to give any credence to what have made me what I am today, it'd be my oldest brother, Thomas Andrews, because he saw the value of what I was trying to do and how I was trying to do it. It basically taught me how to be a man, number one. And secondly, he taught me how to be responsible, have a responsibility. When they give you a job, you got to finish it. You can't just take your time and do it. You got to do it on schedule because he's under schedule. And that's what I've learned. And that's throughout my life in the college ranks and the professional ranks. That's what I had to do. I had a job to do. And I got to finish that job. I don't play around when it comes to that now, because when they're handing out checks, I want mine.
There you go. There you go. I'm under the listening to your upbringing when you were talking about that farm. I can imagine now. Now it's making sense. It's tying into me maybe the toughness and things that you had to go through in that field that probably translated some way to what you ended up doing on the football field. Is that true enough?
You could say that, because I remember when I signed my letter of intent to go to Auburn, I found my brother and I said, man, I thank you. I thank you for what you did for me to get me where I am right now. And right now, I'm going to make you proud of me to show you what I used to do when I was. He never came to a football game, right?
Oh, wow.
All he knew, he had to get up, get the tractors going and everything in the field. That's the only thing he was concerned about. And I didn't have any grudge against that. I said, brother, you ought to come watch me. He said, no, bro, I'm too busy. I got things I got to do. I said, well, I can understand that. Wow. And so we never had words about that or anything whatsoever. And to this day, he's the best buddy I got.
There you go. There you go. Brotherly love, man. Nothing better.
And that tough love probably carried you all the way to Auburn. And speaking of Auburn, get into a little football, man. And as I was doing my research, I saw that you shared the backfield as a fullback, as a blocking for James Brooks and Joe Crib. What was it like to have a dynamic backfield like that?
Well, but see, there you go again. I'll tell you another story behind that. See, they didn't know what they were going to do with all three of us. That's just the bottom line. Because Alabama was running the wishbone, Georgia was running the veer and all like that, and we were running the power I, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was the bigger back, I would say, as fullback. And they said, God dang, they thought when I came in, I was a dang linebacker. They said, God dang, he big. I said, I wasn't big. I was just, I was put together, stacked where I needed to be stacked, and not, you know what I'm saying, right?
Right.
And man, they looked at me and said, no, man, I can't go up against him. And no, we can't do that, man, because he gonna hurt somebody. Right. So I said, no, I'm here to play football, and I show you how I play it. I have finesse and everything else. I can catch, run, do everything you want me to do. But don't get it twisted now. If you get upset with me while I'm in practice and that kind of thing, then it's on. Because I tell you, I can put it down like you want me to if you want me to, but you better be careful how you want that to happen. So they all had mad respect for me, and I gained it because of the work ethics that I had when I went there. I was there to play football and also get a college degree, and I did.
Good job. Good job. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that back then. To not only go to the school, but a lot of guys don't get that degree, man. They just play football and then leave it hanging on the other end. So great job doing that. I'm gonna fast forward, man, because there's so many things I want to ask you about. I want to go ahead and get into your Falcon career. So you were drafted in the 3rd round, and I remember Ed Smitty and I were talking about it because the Falcons, the last couple of years prior to you, had brought in Haskell Standback, Bubba Bean, and other people in the backfield. So they went with the 1-2 punch at 3rd and 4th round with you and Lynn Kane. What were your expectations when you got drafted? And first, did you think Atlanta was going to draft you coming out of Auburn?
Well, see, I didn't know because of the trade that they had got set up, right? I was originally supposed to go to Miami, and so the running back from Alabama by the name of what was his name? God dang it, I can't think his name right off. But he was one of the top runners at Alabama. I was supposed to go to Miami instead of coming to Atlanta, but they made a trade with Ralph Ortega in the 3rd round to get me to come up to Atlanta. And they didn't feel like they made a mistake when they got me the first day they saw me. And they said, man, this boy a thoroughbred right here. I said, no, I ain't no thoroughbred, but I can get after you if you want me to. I said, that's all you got to let me know. How bad you want me to get after him. That's what you got to tell me. So long story short, I worked out, did all the things I needed to do and all like that. My speed was pretty good. I was pretty quick in the 40. I was pretty quick in the 60-yard dash and that kind of thing. And the rest was history. I could catch like a summer gun. They didn't think I could catch, right? I could catch. I could do all kinds of stuff. Catch with one hand, over my shoulder, over my back, and all that kind of stuff. And they said, God dang, he can do everything. Yeah, pretty much.
and that was one of the things in that early year. I don't think there was anybody. See, prior to you getting there, we only had one 1,000-yard rusher in our franchise history.
Right.
And then you came along and right off the rip, 1,000 yards, you did catch the ball, 39 receptions out the backfield, and you did your thing and set the tone that year. What was it like that first year, getting that under your belt, and realizing that the fans, and I'm here to tell you, you had a following that was starting in that 79 season. In the stands, I can tell you it was a who is this William Andrews and why was he blocking for two guys instead of running the ball like he was at Auburn? What was your thought after the 1979 season? Did you feel like you were in there? Did you feel like you kind of got this?
Well, I felt like I had done everything I could to prove myself that I'm worthy of wherever you put me on the field. I'm willing to play that position. However, they looked at me at linebacker. They looked at me as a that kind of thing. But he said, no, he's too swift to be a linebacker. We got to keep him at fullback because he hurt people back there. So I just got myself ready and prepared. Lynn Kane and I, when Lynn came in after I did. Well, he was the guy that was drafted before me, James Mayberry, right, out of Colorado. And so James they thought he was going to be the starter, but they said, "Oh no, I don't think so." He said, "Did you see? You see this boy putting up too many these numbers? We can't find these numbers nowhere." And so I was putting up numbers like tailbacks and wide receivers, and they said, "God dang!" They said, "Because I think my first game I played was New Orleans, right?" Well, they watched me in the preseason, and the preseason that kind of thing. But the first real game was against New Orleans down in New Orleans, and I had 176 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that kind of thing. And I came back in, and we came through the airport. Remember the old airport, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember the old airport, right? And so everybody was standing in the airport when we came back. I said, "What the heck is going on? All these people in here." They said, "Man, where is that Andrews kid? That's what we want to see." So I come strolling up through there. He said, "There he is right there." I said, "No, that can't be no Andrews. No, forget that action. No, that ain't him." I said, "Well, yeah." I said, "I'm afraid so. I'm William." So, man, from then on, I had a following, and man, they were looking for me every week.
Yes.
Whether I was out of town or in town, they said, "God dang it, I ain't never seen nothing like him." So after we got all that done and did all that, we settled down and then we started making some plans for our own stuff. All the guys, Dewey McClain, Edgar Fields, all those guys, Warren Bryant, which is my buddy's deceased now, but we did all of that, man. We physically made a pact, like Jeff Van Note, Mike Ken, R.C. Tillman, and Junior Miller was the front, line. And man, shoot, they didn't mess around when it came to me or Lynn running the football. And so after that, man, it was just gravy then.
So
that was quite a squad, man. And you go into the 1980 season when y'all made it to the I think it was the championship game or divisional with the Dallas Cowboys. You were a key part of that. It was your first Pro Bowl season,
right?
Go to 1981, 2,000 yards from scrimmage. You knew you had made it then. Tell me what that season was like, having over 2,000 yards for a fullback.
Well, I didn't really concentrate on how many yards I had. I just wanted could I put a W in that column?
Yeah. Right.
And that was me. I just wanted to know, we got a W in that column, because I remember everybody talked about, well, they ain't gonna make it. They got injuries, they got this and they got that. I said, well, the bottom line of it is that if guys are willing to put their bodies on the line like that and play as hard as they play, nobody can beat us if we don't beat ourselves.
Right.
Well, we had some coaches that was afraid of beating the other team, but wanted to beat ourselves.
Mm-mm.
And I said, what? And I remember one of my coaches, the backfield coach, we were playing the Giants one year, and Lawrence Taylor was the big go-to guy on the Giants. And I said, what are we running away from him for? And he said, did you watch the film on it? I said, yeah, I watched the film on it. I said, well, why are we running away from him? And he said, you think you can block him? I said, I know I can. I said, so why are we running away from him? And, we got to protect Barkowski's backside. Yeah, we're going to always do that, right? Lynn and I. Right. And we turn them every which way but loose, man. But that's the kind of camaraderie we develop working together in practice and making sure nobody touched his jersey. And that was our motto. You can't touch this jersey. It's not allowed. And that's what we made a pact, Lynn and I did, that nobody was going to touch his jersey unless they shaking his hand and getting off the field. That's it.
Wow.
And that's what we held true for all of those years Lynn and I were there together.
I want to I know Smitty jumped up to your numbers year, which you did put up phenomenal numbers, but I want to go back just a second because the year that I think Atlanta and I want to know, I want to ask you, did you feel the energy in 1980? Because not only 1980 was a successful year, and prior to the Falcons going to the Super Bowl in 98, this was the year that everyone kind of earmarked as the best team in franchise history. I still go on record to say it was the best roster ever for the Atlanta Falcons. But did you feel that magic? Y'all were 12-4, number 1 seed. They made a Christmas song about y'all. What was the feeling of the team as far as did they get the energy from Fulton County Stadium and the fans during that season?
We did, but that they came out to watch us perform the way we always have, and that was full out, you know.
Right.
I remember when the Braves was just getting finished with their season, and we had to run on that dang clay that they dug up and all that kind of stuff. So
y'all
you know, and we got more skin marks than you can shake a stick out on that. Hell, I can show you a few I still got. So, but anyway, we looked at it like, well, you know, we got an opportunity to do something really good here, man. And they said, look, William, if you keep running the way you're running, Lynn keep running the way he learned, Barkowski, nobody, I said, Bart ain't been on his back in a whole year.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And they said, and ain't nobody ever done that. I said, well, you know, I say, because you got 2 guys back here that cares about him and want him to be in the game and play. And so guess what? We're going to protect him with just like we're going to protect our families and stuff. And that's what we did. But it was no different than anybody else that was in there. I don't care what quarterback that was in there. Bottom line is you in the wrong field now. You know, if you're going to come up here and try to take him out, look, trust me on one thing. We're going to do it first. We're going to take you out first.
There you go.
But see, I never can forget the defensive guys too, see.
Yes.
Joel Williams, Al Richardson, and Buddy Curry, and those guys, Robert Pennywell, all those guys that was over there that was doing their thing, Roland Lawrence, Rick Baez, Frank Reed, and all those guys, you know, they were doing their thing on the opposite side. And so one thing we always tried not to do is keep them on the field very long. And they told us that, dang, y'all scoring too quick. We need some rest. Excuse me. They said, y'all scoring too quick. Y'all need to give us a breather, man. I said, well, we're ahead, aren't we? I said, yeah, but we want to keep it that way. So we slow it down. So we slowed it down. So we didn't, you know, just run up the score and get these guys tired out that they couldn't finish, right? And so that's what we did. We were cognizant of what our guys were capable of doing and how they was doing it and that kind of thing. And so that's what we did, man. We weren't out there to hurt anybody. We was out there to play clean football. But if y'all wanted to get rowdy, you're signing your death warrant. I'm telling you. Because we had some boys that sure enough would clean your clock. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
And I went against them every day at practice. And I know what kind of guys they were and what they could do and how they could do it. And that's why I said, no, I'm not going to get involved in that because I know what they're up to.
I got a fan chat question right quick, Mr. Andrews.
Go ahead.
He wants to know if Lehman Bennett shut down the offense in 1980. What did you think when Ed Too Tall Jones jumped offside and ran through?
Well, you know, it would have been encroachment in the day's game, right?
Right.
But they didn't call it then, see. They didn't call him offside to them, but he was offside, trust me. But the thing of it is, Dave Scott had put Randy White on his butt, and we still had a cutback to get to. But that cutback, when Lynn started cutting back, He ran into Tutal because Tutal had disrupted the front line, and that's what caused us to win. I mean, to lose that game to Dallas. Dallas never would have beat us. Trust me.
No,
They didn't have the skills.
they did not.
They didn't have the tools either.
First half. They got beat to a pulp the first half.
I wanted to go back to, and I just wanted to center one more thing around that 1980 season. You were talking about yourself and Lynn Kane keeping Bart clean, which was one of the problems. Bart couldn't stay clean from 75 up to when you guys got there because you had a legitimate run game that could keep him clean. Lynn Kane had 914 yards that year, 8 touchdowns, but you, my friend, 1,300 yards, 4.9. Listen to that again, folks. 4.9 a pop every time this man touched the ball, 5 yards to carry. And it for me as a fan, I gotta know my emotions again that loss, because I truly do think, William, if you guys got past that game, Philly, who you had beat earlier that year.
Oh yeah.
And the Raiders had no chance to beat you guys. I'm glad you share that sentiment. Tell me what the prevailing thought was of that team, because I know, yeah, missed opportunity, but at the same time, was that your thought that you guys couldn't be beat that year?
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, it was everybody's on the team thought we couldn't be beat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the coaches wouldn't buy in our enthusiasm of beating these people, and that's the worst thing in the world to do. If your coaches are down on you, hell, you can't do anything. I said, well, what is this? I never forget Steve Crosby. That's my old running back coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, we're going to run away from Lawrence Taylor. I say, for what? Really? For what? What do you think I'm out here doing every day, coach? Just out here for my health? I said, I'm here to put him on his butt like I normally do, and I did his whole season. And so every time we played him, he never got a hand on Bart. So I'm saying, so that now you mean to tell me you believe in them and don't believe in us?
Wow.
That makes no damn sense.
Wow.
And you know, hey, I was feeling a little vitriol then because shoot, man, hey, I've been out there for a minute and we were winning, man, and that's what we needed to do. And I said, look, if I got to take the lead on this thing, I don't mind doing it. And then he brought Dan Henning in, which that was a mistake. So, but it was just one thing after the other, one thing after the other. Your coaches can get scared too.
Right.
But
right.
Players can't. We can never be scared.
No.
Because we're the ones in the game. And we're the ones butting heads. They calling the plays on the sideline. You know what they call the sideline for, don't you? A place of safety. Because out there on the field, ain't nothing but heartaches. I'm telling you now.
Ain't that the truth? But we got to give a special shout out to Mama Johnson. She said, I have made
That's
her
my mom out there.
day. That's Steven's mom. She said, to this longtime Falcon fan, her husband and I enjoyed watching you play. So we bring Mama Johnson joy, happiness. We done our job. She one of my biggest supporters, and she always supporting the sports machine. So I appreciate it.
You tell Mama I said, look, I was happy to do it.
Yeah, we came as a family to those games. So I know it's kind of like a nostalgic thing. She could probably tell you everything about what was going on back then in that day. I wanted to ask if we fast forward just a little bit. Today, I don't know how much you watch today, and not so much the Falcons, but your style of running is something that hasn't been emulated over the years since you've been there. Is there any running back that you see in not only today's game, but maybe a few years after you played, that you say to yourself, man, he kind of got a style just like me, or similar to me? Is there anybody that you've seen that falls in that category?
Well, back in that day, it was Roger Craig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. High Stepper.
He'll be in the Hall
Yes,
of Fame.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
He'll be in the Hall.
Mr. High Stepper.
Yes, sir.
He
Yes, sir.
said he came to me one day. He said, "Mr. Andrews." He said, "I said, what you call me, Mr. Andrews? Get out of here, boy." He said, "Mr. Andrews, I ain't never seen nothing like you." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I've never seen anybody could hold a position that long and carry his legs that high and put them down and move the way you move." He said, "Man," he said, "Look, can you teach me?" I said, "No, I'm afraid I can't teach you that now, because that's just a natural given, natural given talent to me that I not developed, but it just happened, So he said, "Man, I've never seen anybody lift their knees as high as you." And that's where he get his running style from. He told me subsequently later, he said, "God dang." I said, deter people from trying to hit you in the midsection, because you got them knees coming up. And if you hit them under the chin with one of those knees, their season is almost gone.
Yep.
And so that's how and then, like, I played against Walter Payton, which was one of my greatest friends, and he and I used to battle it out. He was on offense, both on offense, but he knew where I was coming from when they came to play Chicago. When Chicago came to play us, or we went to play Chicago, they knew exactly where I was coming from, and I knew exactly where he was going to come from. And that's just the way it was, and that's how we lived it. And so guess what? Excuse me. Walter's going on, and I miss him. I still talk to his brother Eddie quite a bit, and see how he's doing, and everybody see how his family is doing, that kind of thing. But Walter was a dear friend, right? and I really enjoyed playing with him. We win 2 Pro Bowls together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What a bad
we win 2 Pro Bowls together, and I there's a lot of guys that call me now and say, "Man, I was talking to Hugh Green the other day. That song,
oh yeah,
that boy used to give me fits."
Pittsburgh.
He used to give me fits, right?
Yes, sir.
And I talked to him every day. He said, "Boy," he said, "every time I hit your big ass," he said, "Look, every time I hit your big ass, you want to fall 5 feet forward." Well, I just call body lean, brother, body lean.
I see Smitty has a question for you, but before I got to that, Smitty, I was going to ask him, because my buddy Falcons Pandemic was asking if there is a viral video of you, and I know you probably heard asked so many times. If there is a viral video of you, it's you, speaking of laying down wood on folks, of this hit that you hit on a certain Hall of Fame safety at that time, cornerback.
Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott. Yeah. You've got to tell me the feeling. And I know we didn't know he was gonna he knew he was good, but how he was gonna end up being a Hall of Famer. But tell me in that moment, because that was one of those moments that the crowd say, "Ooh," soon as you hit that contact, and all of a sudden you still going down the field. Tell me what that was like, brother, because
we had this saying, right, in the huddle, right? Say, you better watch your you got to watch your our boy over there. I said, "Who are you talking about?" Ronnie Lott. I said, "Oh." And so I used to come up to the line of scrimmage, right? And before I got in my stance, I'd stand up and look up, and I wouldn't turn my helmet, but I'd turn my eyes to find him. Because you have to find your enemy now. You got to find them, because if somebody is got you tagged, they're who they're gonna go with, right? I already know what the deal is. Trust me. Lott, you got Andrews. I don't care what happens. Nothing happens. you got him, okay? And I
Right.
said, oh, shucks, he got me. I said, I see it now. And so, as the game went on, they threw me a little swing pass, and he came up, and I saw him just out the corner of my eye, and that's when I dropped all of my weight. And when you drop all of your weight and you got that forward body lean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get hurt. But somebody else is. Because when you drop that weight and you got body lean with it, oh, you just like a bullet. You just getting ready to pierce some skin right there now. And that's what I used to do. I used to drop my weight, and then the next that I came out of my stride, I was full speed after that, because I had a quick burst of speed and I could get on up to it and get out of Dodge, right? So that's what I used to do. Now, don't get me wrong. To this day, I got mad respect for all of those guys. I mean, mad respect, because of the game they played. They were clean, and they tried to hurt me, which I knew what that game plan was. We got to get him out of the game, because we just can't keep playing him like this, because he's gonna hurt somebody on our team.
Wheels down. Yeah.
And so we did all that. Now, there's one guy, and I gotta let y'all know, there's one guy I had a real problem with.
Who was that?
One guy he played with the Giants too. Wasn't Lawrence Taylor.
Carl Banks.
Carl Banks?
No, it wasn't Carl. I knew Carl. Carl was a good linebacker, but it wasn't Carl. It was the other guy, number 10.
Trevor Johnson.
Number 10, Brad Van Pelt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, let me tell you something.
He was good.
I told Lynn Kane, I said, look, man. I said, Lynn, I went up to try to hit this cat, man. And, man, he made every bone in my body shake.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Lynn say, what happened, Will? I said, I can't move him, man. I said, look, so what we're going to have to do now, we're going to have to finesse block him. Because if you want me to stay in the game with you all the whole game, I'm going to have to finesse him. I'm going to have to finesse blocking to make sure that I don't end up in the chiropractor shop after this. So the whole game, I was position blocking him the whole game.
Wow.
The whole game now. Because when he first hit me the 1-2 time, I said the third time, no, he ain't going to do that. We changing this. We changing the protocol. So we had to change the protocol, right? And ever since then, I said, Lynn, now look, here's how you look at it. If my hat is straight up on him, you can go either way.
Yeah.
But if my hat's to the left side of him, or my left side, then you know that's your path. If I go to the right side, then you know that's your path. I said, but if I got him stalemate up front, you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah.
Lynn was like, thank you, man.
Because, Lynn was smaller than I was. I said, no, I ain't going to let my buddy get hurt like that. No, you can't do him like that. So I had to, I had to be the bodyguard of Lynn, sometimes Gerald, and all of that. I had to be the bodyguard for these guys. But to make a long story short, they talk about who's the toughest linebacker. That was.
Brad Van Pelt. Okay.
That was one of the baddest boys I ever went against.
He was a hell of a
No, I know. Now, I don't take nothing from Mike Singletary. I don't take anything from all these other guys. But boy, pound for pound, there was none like him. I mean, you ever try to pull a piece of you ever try to pull a piece of granite out of the ground and you can't move it?
Oh, wow.
I ain't even tried. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even gonna try it.
That's my point. But I had no choice in the matter, because he was the next item on the list. I had to get it. I either had to root him out or stalemate him or do something. But boy, I tell you, after that game was over with, I was so glad it was over with. I said, God dang, I'm going straight to the shower.
Ice Bev, here we come. I got a question for you. You talked about the 85 Bears and Mike Singletary, and Dre Harrison wants to know what defense do you think was better, 77 grit splits or the 85 Bears? Because we know the Falcon grit splits in 77 statistically was the best defense of all time, but the Bears and the 2000 Ravens get all the credit because they won the Super Bowl. But what do you think about the 77 grit splits against that 85 Bears defense?
Well, I mean, all of them were good defenses. It just who was lined up at the position that you had to go against. That's what that was. So you have to pick your poison now. You know, you just can't go into a wasp nest and say, I'm going to take the whole nest out. But you don't know where the stingers are. And so you have to be careful of that. So what we did was we didn't draw straws or do anything like that. We just said, look, I'm going to move. I told him, I said, look, my game plan is to see what they like the first quarter. Right. And if they change anything in the first quarter, I'll let you guys know. I said, but you can count on them being what they say they are right now because I hadn't seen them yet. We saw them on film, but you know, film is just film. But when you get out there and actually see the players and that kind of thing, that's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, that's true. Uncle Steve, one more question, and then I'm gonna close it with the ringer on the question.
Okay, I'm gonna get. I want to get one more with the word association thing before I got this. Let me get this one out here. I gotta ask you. 1982 was the closest I came to stop being a Falcons fan, so I gotta hear what you thought about it too. When the Falcons decided, after the years you've given and the ability you had, they decided that they wanted to draft Gerald Riggs in 1982. And I'll say I was pissed off because I really thought they didn't give you your due to say, okay, you're gonna come back, you're gonna do your thing. What was your thought when you first heard they were drafting a running back in the first round that year? Or did they even tell you?
No, they never told me anything. That's their business in that front office. I didn't get involved with that, anything like that. Mm-hmm. But whomever came, I'm either going to teach them or I'm going to show them how it's done and that kind of thing, and that, which I have no issue with whatsoever. And Gerald was a good back to teach because he listened. And see, the one thing that a lot of these guys don't do is listen. They think they're all world and they can do anything they want to do. But I said, no, this is a little stranger now. I got to tell you that now, because I don't want you to get hurt in practice going against these guys. You got to know who you're going against, how you're going against them, and what you're going to do when you go against them. And so I try to teach them that aspect of it where they can last a whole season instead of be broken down early on. And so, but Gerald and I became real good friends. I blocked for him and he blocked for me, and Lynn the same way. So we had a real good camaraderie. And like I said, Gerald reminds me of Joe and James when I was at Auburn. I hit a hole and made a hole for him, and all I could see was butt and cheeks, and that was it. Gerald was the same way, So I said, God dang, there you go. And so, see, I feel like I scored just as much as he did when he broke the line. I said, okay, he gone, he all right. So, but I never got jealous of what these guys' numbers they were putting on or anything like that. I had I didn't care less. I said, as long as they put a W in the column, man, look, I'm still getting paid.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. There you go.
Super
chats. Yeah.
What was your initial feeling when you found out you'd be playing pro football in your home state? What kind of feeling was that?
Well, man, I was sort of childish, I remember my agent George Kicklighter. He's deceased now. But George said, I went. The only bowl I played in that year prior to me getting drafted by the Falcons was the Senior Bowl down in Mobile, Alabama.
And it's still there.
And I sure had a bang up game in Mobile, right? And that's when coach was at the head coach at New Orleans, and the head coach at the Giants were there, right? And they said, damn, we won't get you in the second round. I said, oh, really? I said, okay. Well, I'll be waiting, like that, right? So I went on to my, my room and everything, and then I ran across Mr. Kickbiter, and George said, William, he said, I said, hey, George, how you doing, man? He said, yeah. He said, I'm down here trying to find some recruits to represent. And he said, if I had an opportunity to represent you, man, shoot, I'd be in there. I said, well, you got it. I said, because I don't have one. So George represented me until the time he died. And I tell you, it was a great relationship. We had a great time. He would never let me spend no money, though. He wouldn't let me spend no money. He said, well, I don't know. Well, I said, George, come on now. Look, I'm trying to buy a car, George. Let me buy a dang car, man. So he didn't want me to buy a car, nothing. He said, nah, well, where? I said, okay, George, let's compromise. What do you think ought to? I said, I don't need no big car. I just need a little small car to get me from Auburn to home. And that's, of course, that's after we had finished the bowl games and everything. And so I bought a canary yellow BMW.
Oh wow!
310.
Okay,
Popular color back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back then.
And so I drove that little thing home. Everybody wanted to say, "What in the heck is that?" I said, "It's a BMW. Can't you read?" So, but anyway, long story short, George was one of my greatest champions in terms of pushing me to heights that I've never been to before. And I'm sorry he's resting, but I love his family, and they've always been good to me and always been kind to me. So I look at people for people. I don't look at people for what they can give me or what I can give them, but they look at the mutual respect we have with each other. And that's right. How I always live. That's how I want to live. I don't want to live any other way, because if we can't get along with each other, and what the hell are you to we sitting on this earth for? But my thing is this: when you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Admit it and just keep moving.
There you go.
That's
there
it.
You go.
I wish some people I know. I wish they took that advice. Trust me when I tell you that.
But see, most folks, I look at it like this: most folk don't admit to it because they're afraid to. They think that takes away from them by admitting. Yeah, I can admit all my shortfalls. I tell you about guys that rang my bell and that kind of thing. I told you about Brad Van Pelt. Nobody knows that, but you guys, I just told you.
Wow.
But ain't nobody know that. See.
There you go.
Yeah,
but it doesn't bother me because it was the truth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Smitty.
Which team did you hate the most in the NFC West? Saints, Rams, or 49ers?
I think you might have cut off there. I see if he unfreezes there for a second. If we can get that. Appreciate y'all in the chat today. We see a lot of good questions coming along.
He popped out.
Hopefully.
He might pop back in. Hopefully he'll pop back in.
Hopefully we
will.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a great interview, man. And Uncle Steve, I hope you got your $100 million worth, because I know this will be a chat of a lifetime, man.
Yeah, I know. This is a good time and good to be able to reach back and there was a team here in Atlanta, but there was a Falcons team before 1990.
I'm gonna go on and close it out with the last question.
Okay.
I know you got to go, Mr. Andrew. One question before you leave, and it's the most important question I think I had to ask. And you been inducted to the Ring of Honor. What did that mean to you as an Atlanta Falcon legend?
Well, it was a little deja vu. It was certainly surprise because all the things that I've done on behalf of the Falcons and that kind of thing. I am a guy like this. Records are meant to be broken, and if they're there long enough, they will be. But I held the the rushing title at the Falcons for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my son called me and said, "Dad, they broke your record." I said, "What record?" He said, they broke your rushing record. I said, "Oh, okay. So what?" I said, "Son, that's been 40 years ago." And said, if I held it that long, you know what? I'm good. I'm real good about that. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for the fella that did it, because guess what? It takes more than just records to make you who you are. You have to be who you are no matter what. Absolutely. And that's the way I leave it with people. You don't have to try to put me on a pedestal. I've been there. You don't have to try to put me in the game, because I've been there. But if you're going to mention anybody about Hall of Fames or whatever, then I should be considered, okay? Because the last fullback to ever go into the Hall of Fame was Larry Zonka.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And see, but I put up numbers like tailbacks. Okay.
Yep. I said it in my video.
Larry never put up numbers like tailbacks. I did.
He did not.
And you look at John Riggins. John Riggins put up numbers like tailbacks too, because he was a big fullback like I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, but John is in, and I'm happy for John, because that was Chief. That was a big Indian. That's what he was.
Yeah.
That they call him Chief.
Yeah.
And I was proud to play against him, and he was a really nice fella. And so I got a chance and had a chance to play against OJ before he died. I mean, all these guys that I remember playing against, they taught me one thing: William, always be true to yourself, partner. You don't have to be true to nobody else, but be true to yourself. And that's what I've always been, to myself. I know how good I am. I know how good I was. But if people can't see that, that's it. That don't on me. It's not on me. It's on them. Because
I absolutely agree.
What you're losing is the opportunity to find how great I was, but you don't want to take that opportunity to look at that. And that's the difference.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's the difference right there.
And I told Uncle Steve this, and I said in the video I made about you being in the Hall of Fame, I would put your first 5 years against any fullback and really any running back in history, and that should answer their question right there.
Well,
that's how they should look at it.
Well, but they don't look at it that way. I talked to the guy when the Black College Hall of Fame was here, right? And all the guys I played against, Too Tall Jones, Mel Blunt, all these guys that I was on the field with and that kind of thing. They said, "Hey, Bill, how you doing, man?" I said, "Man, I'm doing good. It's good to see you guys." And I said, "Man," he said, "God dang," he said, "They ain't put you in the hall yet." I said, "No, man. You know how that is." I said, politics. They said, "Yeah." They said, "Don't we know it? Don't we know it?" But like I said, if it happens, fine. If it doesn't, I'm real fine too, because what I've done makes all the sense in the world that I should be there, but I'm not there. Now, when you come to me and tell me you're going to put a fullback in from San Francisco that didn't put up no numbers like I did, but you put him in the Hall of Fame? Really? Come on, man. You got to be kidding me.
Absolutely.
And then in Dallas, you put a guy in the fullback and call him a fullback, but you won't call me a fullback. You call me a running back.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Well, that right there, you saw the goddamn racism right there. Yeah, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Look, man, come on. Don't try to. They always trying to play. They're always trying to play with your mind, right? Don't play with my mind. My mind is clear. These are the numbers that I put up. Put them up against all these other guys you got that y'all elected into the hall.
Yeah.
Pull it up. All you got to do is pull it up.
And one of your former teammates, he had to wait a long time, and we all know Claude Humphrey was one of the better defensive ends of his era.
That's all I'm telling you.
35, 40 years.
That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm telling you, fellas. Hey, this game ain't fair.
Yeah.
This game ain't fair. And the way they look at things ain't fair. Okay? Look,
I'm gonna just speak real quick, but from a fan perspective, let me tell you something. In my heart, you don't need the accolades or anything from a gold jacket or anything like that, because I speak for a lot of fans, and if you could even look in this chat, the admiration they have for you and your career, and I'm unashamed that you're the best Falcon player, in my opinion, that ever put on that uniform, and my favorite player. So I can just tell you from my standpoint, you're in my Hall of Fame. So I really appreciate everything that you gave for this franchise. And people don't realize he only played for this franchise, and that should count a lot too when you talk about loyalty to this team. So I appreciate you for what you brought to us, man.
Well, here's the worst case scenario. See, they wasn't gonna let me go anyplace else.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Come on, man. They gonna let me go to some other team? Come on, man. Come on now. Really? Come on now. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna let the stallion out of the corral and just see them trotting off where you want to go trot off to. Right. Come on, man. Give me a break. You know they wasn't gonna do that, man.
Come on, hey, I know who was running your team back then, so I don't know.
Before Rankin died,
Right
before Rankin Smith died, he said, "William, come in my office. I want to see you." I said, "Yes, sir, Mr. Smith. How you doing?" He said, "I'm doing good." He said, "God dang it." He said, "I got to pay you again." I said, "Yep, that's what it calls for." So he said, he told me, he said, "Damn, you the damnedest thing I've ever seen."
Hey, man.
And he said, "I've never seen anybody like you ever play this game the way you played it." And I said, "Mr. Smith, I take that as a compliment." He said, "God damn it, you better take it as a compliment because it is. You're the best thing I've ever seen. And I am happy to call you one of my own." That's what he told me now before he died. He said, I am for one happy to call you one of my own. He said, "You just like my kids." I said, "Well, Miss Smith, I appreciate it. And, I tried to give you everything I had." And that's what he said. "I know you did, and you did do it." So I leave it at that, man. And whoever can mark whatever they want to mark from there. Look, I've lived my life, and I've had a ball.
I can tell.
Yes, sir.
I can definitely tell that.
Yes, sir.
I don't walk around pouting and doing all that kind of crazy. Nope, I don't. Nope. I love my grandkids, and I love being with them, being around them, and they love me. They call me Pop, right? They say, "Well, Pop, he got all these pictures, all these stories at the house." He said, "Man, we can watch him on video."
Yeah.
He said, "We can go to YouTube and pull him up right now." I said,
I saw that Seattle game, 167 yards your rookie season.
Yeah. I said, "Well, look, like I said, I've had some great time with some great players, and all the great players had the same thing to say about me." William, you one hell of a cat. And that's what I said, well, I can live with that.
Amen.
I can live with that.
You need it. Yeah.
Amen.
I can live with that.
Yes, sir.
Amen. But I'm gonna call you Uncle William now because I've been talking to you for a couple weeks. So you Uncle William.
Hey, well, look, you fellas can call me anytime if you need me back on. I ain't got no issue with that. There's a lot of there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of the stories I ain't told you about, but yes, we'll talk about it as the season come along. I hope the guys do well. I'm pulling for them, number one, but I'm not participating.
I got you.
Did you get a chance to watch Bijan Robinson last year?
Who is that?
Bijan, the new running back that we have, the young guy.
Oh yeah, I saw him there. Nice little fella. Nice little fella. And I call him little because he is.
They make them small now, William. They don't make them like you, brother. They don't make them like you. They make them small now.
That wasn't what. All I'm saying is, I was a big back. I wasn't no little small guy. Yes. I was a big back. So hey, and don't get me wrong, I ain't ashamed of it. But I'm saying, yeah, they get all the small cats. That's fine. But you know what? Small cats go out of the game quick.
Yeah, that's true. And in your era, I mean, big backs was the thing back then. So I mean, they didn't have a choice. And
they still supposed to be the thing, but they won't allow it, right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna let you guys go, but if you look at the ratio of runs to passes, it's not even funny, not even close. Now, why are you throwing the ball instead of rushing the ball?
Yeah.
See, I like to take time off the clock because guess what? I'm tired. I need to sit down. I need to be still. Right. But you want to throw the damn ball 3 yards and nobody catches it, and then I got to come back to the run back to the huddle, get ready for a new play to go do it again. No, man, don't do that. Y'all, look, y'all got a fool. I tell you like it is, now. Because you think I care? Do you think I care what the hell they say? I don't give a rat. I can give a rat's behind what they say because they know I'm telling the truth. They're afraid to say it, but I'm not.
Brother William.
That's why you Uncle William. That's why you Uncle William, because you tell it like it is. That's why you.
Man, I ain't got no time to be pussyfooting around. Come on now. You get out here and let's see, my mom always told me that. Now, don't you act like no fool. I said, no, mom, I'm real close, but I ain't gonna get there. so I'm careful how foolish I get. You follow?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, just on my behalf, man, and I know you got to go. Listen, please, I would really like the opportunity later on right before the season or even during the season to pick your brain again. Your stories are awesome,
man,
and I would love it.
Y'all can call me anytime, man. Anytime. I feel like I've made 2 other brothers now, man. I'm ready.
Man. Thank you.
Hey,
leastwise, I can get a dinner someplace.
Hey, man. Hey, Smitty Rich. I don't know if you know that. He said.
Hey, man, go ahead on.
Come on, Smitty. Smitty, I know Lenny like to eat, so guess what?
Make sure you tell Uncle Lenny I said thank you, man. Make sure you.
Oh, I will. I'm gonna call her. I told him I was gonna give him a buzz.
I'm gonna call him myself.
Yeah. You tell him I enjoyed myself with you guys, and anytime you need me, man, just holler. You got my number. Don't give it out to a lot of folk, but you got it.
No. I'm the only one gonna have it.
Well, like I said, I'm always around. I love this city. I think I've given a lot to this city. I've done a lot for this city. I've done all kind of things that even from the civil rights part of it all the way through. the crazy stuff we're going through now. But I've been here, I've been active, and I've been doing everything I can to make my life better, make my family's life better. And I hope I made you guys' life better too, just by
Oh, no
listening to
doubt
some of
about
my antics.
it. Doubt about it.
I'm not going to sleep tonight. You
I
are
got,
awesome, man. You
I
are
got some,
awesome.
I got some stories now. I got some
Yeah.
stories.
We gonna stick around for them. We trust me. We gonna come. We gonna come pick your brain now. Don't think that dinner might have to be on me. I might have to get you on that one.
Hey, whatever whatever you guys would like me to talk to you guys about, just give me a heads up. Let me know. I prepare myself and go back into my memory bank and pull out some stuff that you really want to talk about and get it out there, because most of these fans don't understand the plight of any athlete, number one, and what they have to go through on a daily basis. So you have to be careful how you call what these guys are doing and what they're not doing and all like that. So just be careful because they still are human beings, and they are here to entertain the fans the best way they can. And the best way they know how to do it is based on what they do on the field on Sunday and that kind of thing. Now, you may not see them on the street or anything like that because everybody incognito now, which I don't understand. But as far as you guys concerned, y'all know my identity now, god dang it. I can't wear no mask. I can't wear no mask or nothing like that. Y'all got me.
I'm gonna tell you a good little bit of Falcons ex-player. They support me heavy, and I thank them for that on the daily. And
that's good.
To get to talk to you after my granddad done told me some stories about your playing days. I finally get to hear from you. I never forget it. Never, ever.
Well, a lot of them say I exaggerate, but I don't think I do.
No, you just tell it like it is.
I don't think I do. And that's one thing that the Smith family loved about me, because I tell it like it is. He said, William, Miss Smith called me in the office one day. He said, damn, William, you kind of painted it on for us today, didn't you? I said, yes, sir. I said, well, I'm just telling you like it is. We didn't play with the damn. He said, really? I said, yeah, we ain't. I said, come on now. Wasn't supposed to get beat that bad. Come on, man. And so he said, well, you're right. I said, yeah, I know I'm right. You ain't got to tell me I'm right. I already know. But the thing I'm saying is, he know he ain't gonna get nothing but truth from me. I mean, what other player that could go sit up in Rankin Smith office and put my feet up on his desk like he does?
Hey, wow. If you got it like that, you got it like that.
I did it like that. That's what I'm telling you.
There you go.
I did it just like that, is what I'm telling you.
Wow.
I believe it wholeheartedly, man.
And I'll never forget what he said the last time he signed me to a deal. He said, damn, William, I got to sell one of my planes.
Oh.
I said, which one? And he said, I got to sell that damn Falcon.
Wow.
So you're the reason he had to sell the team.
I said, well, no, not to sell the team. He had a plane, old Falcon jet, right?
Yeah.
He said he got to sell this damn Falcon jet because I can't afford to put no gas in it no more after paying you. Wow. I said, come on. I said, come on, Mr. Smith, you joking, right? He said, I wish I was.
Oh man.
But like I said,
I had that kind of friendship, man. I'm glad.
But see, what I'm saying is, a lot of people didn't have the friendship that he and I had together. See,
absolutely.
And so, and that's what a lot of players miss out on, because they didn't get to know the owner as well as I did, and I got to know him very well, and his whole family. I know him very well. And they've always said, he said, "You the damnedest thing I've ever seen, William." He said, "I ain't never seen nothing like you." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I ain't never seen nothing like you." I said, "Well, they come around once in a while."
Yes,
Yeah.
He said, yeah. He said, yeah, I know once in a while. He said, damn, but why can't I have them while I was healthy?
Yeah.
But
We
like I
haven't
said,
had a running back like you since you left, in my opinion. And I
well,
say that. So that's me. So
I
I
think,
appreciate that.
last thing, and I'll tell you, my son called me. He said, Dad, I said to my son, Micah, I said, Micah, what's a goat?
Mm.
I said, somebody called me a damn goat. I said, I ain't no damn goat. So
Oh,
that should tell you right there I'm out of touch, right?
But
He said,
but
I said, what's a goat? He said, Dad, that means greatest of all times. I said, oh, okay.
oh,
I was
oh.
arguing with somebody about that, William, because back in our day, and I'm probably a little closer to your day than I am Smitty's day. If you called somebody a goat, that was an insult.
Yeah, that was
Back,
insult.
back
And
in the
that's the
day.
way I took it. That's the
Yeah,
way
that's so.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you. I'm telling you, that's the way I took it. I said a goat. And you know who called me that, right?
who's that?
What's the little running back name that there used to be here before my man got here? Warwick Dunn. Warwick Dunn.
Oh, Warwick Dunn. Okay.
Warwick Dunn. He said, "Man, that was nothing but a goat right there." I said, oh, "What the hell is he talking about?"
You weren't about to get him, were you?
I'm about to go get him, man. He said, "No, Dad, calm down, calm down." He said, "No," he said, "That's a compliment." I said, "A goat?"
Oh,
He said, "Dad, listen, the greatest of all time." I said,
Yes,
"Oh,
sir.
okay." I said, "God,
I
well, he
know
called me
you
a
got
goat."
some
Hey,
stories stored in that memory bank, boy.
And he
Ooh,
was correct. And he was
he
correct,
was
sir.
right. He was
I
right.
He
said,
was correct.
he calling me something like that. I said, "Them fighting words there." Yeah, but he's a nice fella, and I really enjoy him too. I see him quite a bit. But like I say, fellas, anytime you guys need me, I'm here. Okay?
All right, Uncle William, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, man.
Have a great evening,
Okay.
man. God bless you, man.
I'm gonna do my best. God bless you guys too, man. Y'all have a good one.
Take care.
Thank you, Uncle
Take
William.
All
care.
right
All
now.
right.
All right. Woo. That
Woo,
was fun.
boy.
That was fun.
But
Did
them
y'all like
stories,
that chat?
hey man, them stories brought back memories, man. Woo. My granddad and my uncle used to tell them stories, boy. They had you on the floor laughing. Woo.
Yeah, I know
Chat,
that probably. Yeah, that probably ran
I
a
got
little
to say
longer than
this.
you thought.
Hey, but I got to say this, man. That was a one in a lifetime type thing. There.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to talk to a legend like that who you heard stories about, and then they tell you the story right to your face. But I want to give a shout out to Uncle Steve, man, for coming through. I had to show him some love, man. He's been supporting me for a while now. So
Yeah.
after he told me, that was his favorite player, how could I not, invite him? But also thank you to the chat, man, for coming through and dropping those questions and donating, man. We really appreciate it. I hope that made y'all day, and I did this for the older generation because I told y'all we always behind the scenes working, and we're gonna try to cook up some more interviews. So we're gonna see what we can work on. But shout out to my boy Chris Moore, man. We had a blast last night talking to Mr. Bob Rathbone from the Hot play-by-play guy who said he'll be back on soon. So y'all keep a lookout for that. And now we got another Falcon in the as we said, the Black Book. So y'all will see Mr. William Andrews on again. And that's how you make friends for life, man. Just be yourself and be genuine and, be good to people, man, because when you're good to people, it always comes back to you.
That's right.
200-fold. Trust me when I tell you that.
Mm.
But Uncle Steve, I ain't going to take up all the time, man. I know you got closing words because I know that probably made your life, man, because you talked about William Andrews, I know 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure, and I want to thank you, Smitty, again. You are the leading cat in this content creator space for the Atlanta Falcons fans, and I know the fans appreciate your contacts and who you're able to bring on, because this not just only for me, but I'm just looking at as I'm looking at the chat and I'm watching the adoration for this man, and especially probably the older school guys who this was our guy prior to the Mike Vick excitement and the Super Bowl and stuff. I understand Prime and everything like that, but William Andrews was that guy. So I appreciate that opportunity. And again, y'all, just real quick, so Smitty can get out of here. Uncle Steve's Lounge. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, y'all go ahead and subscribe. Hopefully, we can get Uncle William back on here later on in the year and do this thing together. So
shout out to Mama Johnson, man.
Oh yeah,
Mama Johnson,
I know
thank
she
you.
Probably I know she enjoyed it.
I had to do that for you and Unc, man, because Mama Johnson, she got on me by I think it was who it was, the coach that we hired. She said, I'm gonna trust what you say, and I'm gonna roll with it. So Mama Johnson, I ain't gonna tell you no lies. Like I said, I had to do it for Uncle Steve, because Uncle Steve been supporting me, and I'm glad I made your day, Mama Johnson, because that's what I try to do for everybody.
Appreciate you, Smitty.
But did you get a shout out to your channel?
Yes, I did. YouTube.
Okay,
Said, YouTube, Uncle Steve's Lounge. Again, for those of you who haven't subscribed, please subscribe to us over there. Again, shout out to Smitty. Shout out to Berto and Chris, part of the 95 North Sports Machine. Appreciate you. And again, Smitty, you are the man, brother.
And I appreciate you. And we got to give a shout out to our boy Big Catfish, Big Low.
Oh yeah,
Big Low, man.
Low.
Yeah, we got a Big Low country. Yeah, he part of the stable.
Didn't William Andrews say he couldn't sing in the group? He said I could sing with him. He didn't say Low, right?
I don't know though. I think he didn't say nothing about Low though.
He didn't say nothing about Low. Okay, I just want to make sure.
I give him a call and I see if he can pop up. But yeah, shout out to Big Low Country, man. Big supporter of mine.
Yes, sir.
That's my little bro, man. Him, Chris, Berto, me, Uncle Steve.
Yes, sir.
We stable of 5 now. We're gonna welcome also RG ATL for life, man.
Oh yeah,
always coming through with the news, helps me out. When I can't get to the breaking news, he leaves it for me so I can do a video on it. So shout out to RJ, man. And he'll be starting his YouTube soon. I can keep going. Winston from the eye test, John from the eye test, Tidy from Atlanta Bird Game.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's just so many content creators that support the sports machine, and we can't do it without y'all, man. Trust me, I got to give a shout out to my homegirl Joy, man. She was moderating the chat.
I see.
And,
thank you, Joy.
She's always looking out, man. So shout out to her. Blink and Stitch. And,
thank you, Joy.
Still making those 5 t-shirts. But that was fun, man. So like I said, man, y'all stay tuned because we got more coming, and we just gonna have fun, man, and keep pushing along. But for my boy Uncle Steve, 95 North Sports Machine, man, we gonna roll on out of here. We will holler at y'all later, man. Hey, I got a new microphone. Thank y'all for that.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, big supporter, man. Hey, I told you when you nice, man, you get nice things. So hey, I ain't messing with you, Uncle Steve.